Welcome, everybody. If you're willing and able, please feel free to come off of the darkness and let us see your beautiful faces.
Oh,
Cheryl's there. Welcome, Whitney,
I don't know
Deb.
how to do it.
Let's see. Well, welcome, everybody. We're looking forward to tonight. We're awaiting our guest, Tristan, who will be the individual that we'll be working with. And we'll give everybody a couple more minutes to come on in. Welcome, Kyle. So glad you're with us. Shannon, are you checking on Tristan for us?
I
Thank
am.
you. That's what you were doing.
Yep.
She said
Do,
she's
do you
signing
want me
in
to
now.
do
Okay.
you want me to go out and come back in?
You can try that and see.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, there's Tristan.
Yep.
There we are. Hey, hello.
Welcome,
Hi.
Tristan.
Tristan.
The clown. I don't know. Here, there we go. That's better.
You're with us. Are you from the prairie today or are you from the city today? I'm just checking.
Yeah. Little house on
Uh,
the prairie every day.
That's
Well,
awesome.
Kristen recently did her own comedy routine in LA and she wore her modified pioneer dress. No sleeves. So not quite
I
pioneer
know.
Utah mode,
I
but
know. Thanks,
you are,
Lynn.
girl. There we
Thanks,
go.
Lynn. It was brave of me. I appreciate it.
Hey, that was amazing. I loved it. I think sent you messages, all the hashtags that I could think of that were wonderful. So
Oh, good. Thank you.
so I
yes.
have I have to say that my son's name is Tristan.
Lovely.
Ah, it's a great name.
My mom was really into Luke and Laura back in the day.
Oh,
Mm.
And then when I looked up the actor that she named me after, I was like, he is not even cute.
oh.
This is General Hospital, if I
Yeah,
remember right. Okay.
yeah, yeah.
The Luke
And
and
I
Laura
mean,
here.
my mom's family, when they would get into their stories, their soaps, I mean, it was like they were talking about these people like they were real people. It was kind of
Hmm
confusing as a kid
hmm
sometimes.
It was a real
Who's in a
thing.
coma? Why are they still in a coma? Anyways,
It made good TV.
thank you for having me. What an honor it
Thank
is.
you, thank you, thank you. Okay, yes. It's really great to have you with us, and it's an honor to have you with us. And I'm just going to quickly introduce. I'm Lynn Christian, the founder of Soul Salt Inc. Typically, I'm an executive coach, and occasionally I get to work with people like Levon and Annie, who is sitting next to me, and we go deep into the spiritual realm. We're excited to have Tristan here because Tristan has recently had a major passing in her life. And so we wanted to work with her through some of the processes that the three of us use when we're working with individuals. Some of you are here because of private invitations, and and some of you are here because we have really strong connections with you. So thank you for being here. If you don't know Lavon, she is a globally known and internationally acclaimed speaker and love advocate. And like I mentioned, I'm typically an executive coach using my abilities to work with women in the C-suite, especially those who have those their own glass ceilings that keep them from going to the next level. And then Annie, sitting next to me, my fiance, is
Yes.
yes, an internationally trained and internationally known shamanic healer, and quite an extraordinary person who was born with total recall. So there's a lot of good juju on the call, and we're going to jump right in. Lavon's going to spend about 15 minutes working through a process with Tristan, and then she'll pass Tristan on, and we'll go through a process using some neuroscience, and then we'll have Tristan finally work at the end with Annie, and Annie will bring it home Hopefully, we'll have some time for questions. We are already, I want you to know, we've already been visited. We've had somebody come into our meditations and into our daily lives already that is on the other side. We believe 2 days ago, meditation. Cheryl, you know who we're talking about is here and present and right here. So we're just so honored to have them with us as well. And they're not going to show up on Zoom, I don't think, but they are with us.
Maybe he's the one that was messing with my camera.
Oh,
There you
yeah, there you go.
go.
Wanted you to know that he was here. Yes.
There you
So,
I'll
go.
blame him.
Kristen, I'm going to turn you over, and Levon, go ahead and work your magic.
Oh, no magic at all love. And so we're focusing on Tristan. As we're focusing on Tristan, my request is that everyone go through the process yourselves as well. And the first thing that I would love to do is to simply have everyone close their eyes just for a minute, just to get centered and in your heart. Thank you, first of all, for showing up this evening for yourselves and for many of your loved ones that have transitioned out of physicality. They welcome you. They are grateful that you are here. Just taking the time to pause. So just take 3 deep cleansing breaths. Do it however you choose to do it. Inhaling in through the nose and out of the mouth. Do that 3 times. And with every inhale and exhale, I'm going to invite you to really soften your body, meaning relax. And you can simply do this by telling your body, we are relaxing. And continue to breathe. And I'm actually being told to have you place your hand over your heart so that you can actually feel your heart beating, the rising and the letting go of in your breath. And we give so much gratitude and appreciation for being able to gather together. We are so grateful for this opportunity to just be present. And even though you're receiving tools this evening, we know that it's not about performance. It is simply about being present with you and present with what is. Go ahead and take another breath, breathing in and breathing out. And I'm going to invite you just before you open your eyes to presence that loved one. Presence your loved one, Tristan, and everyone on this call by simply saying their name in your mind's eye. And when you are ready, go ahead and open your eyes. And that's one of the things that it's a beautiful opportunity to sit with yourself. A lot of times people will say, how is it that you connect with your daughter? And I'll share a little bit about her in just a second. And I innately tell them over and over and over again, it is important that I have a good relationship with myself. And so in that morning, people call it meditation. I call it the sit. It's just that morning before you greet the day, you greet yourself. And so first thing in the morning, you want to say to yourself, good morning, Tristan. How are you doing, Tristan? What can I do for you today, beautiful Tristan? And you get quiet just for a moment. And I promise you, you will answer you. And when you're about that practice daily, it becomes stronger and stronger and stronger. And it becomes something so natural and so beautiful. And even now, I can feel my daughter coming in and wanting to share. So that's really interesting. It never looks the way we think it ought to look. And it's different every time. And one of the biggest things and one of the brightest things that she always brings to me is remind them of the breath, how important it is, the breath. Because when that grief comes upon you and you can't think of anything else to do, or you have a memory or a thought or a feeling and you're not quite sure what to do, the first place you want to go to, number one, is your heart, and to consciously take breaths. Just consciously take breath. No particular, there's all kinds of programs and groups and stuff that talk about breath. It is the simple breath, the inhale, the exhale. Now, Tristan, what is your beloved what is his name?
Richard Kent Rasband.
Oh, Richard. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. And so when you take that breath and you just simply say his name, which you just did, in that moment, they instantaneously show up. So we live in a world where we don't know how to grieve. There's no particular way how to grieve. Maybe there's some steps, some ways to go about doing it. And tonight it's all about receiving tools, using what works for you, and whatever does not work for you, you can let that go, because we don't have all the answers. You have your answers. However, we've walked through it. I've walked through it. And I can simply share from my experience. And a little bit about my daughter, Kiva. When she transitioned, I was holding her, and she took 3 deep breaths. And this would make complete sense as to why she keeps saying, bring them back to the breath, bring them back to the heart. She took 3 deep breaths and she left from the crown of her head. And immediately, right next to me, she was standing. And when she transitioned, she was only 5 months old. And when I went to place her body back into the bed and pick up her things, even after knowing everything that I knew about life and that there was more, and that this life that we're experiencing is a journey that we're all on, and we're all going to be coming and we're all going to be leaving. Even knowing all of that, my heart was broke, completely broke, completely devastated. And at the same time, I was in celebration because there were a lot of other things that happened before her passing that let me know that this is the correct choice. I took her off life support. And as I walked out of the room, what I heard was, wait for me, I'm coming with you. Now, I wasn't alone. And my friend that was with me, as we got into the elevator, she put her head down, and I'm like, I gotta tell her what happened. She's gonna think I'm crazy. Because, our friends and family sometimes think we're crazy. And that's a beautiful thing, a beautiful place to be in. And I asked her, and she's like, I heard it. So she received confirmation. She heard the same thing. And why do we share with you this part of the story is because I knew what I knew what I knew, but I didn't know. But a mother knows the sound of her child. She knows what her child feels like when the child is in the room. And so no one could take that from me. And then a myriad of things happen after that, which is out of this world, utterly out of this world, and most beautiful. And one of the biggest things that she's always taught me over and over and over again, teach the people to breathe, to grieve, and to live. Let them know we are not dead. As a matter of fact, take that word out of their mouth. So anytime that I'm doing a class or anything like that, I talk about the death and the dying. And then I said, okay, that's the last time you're going to hear me say those words. And so what I always say is they are continuing their journey out of body. And at any moment you think about them, any moment that you speak their name, any moment that you're willing to be still and have a conversation, they're right there. And the other thing that Kiva taught me was our relationship, Mom, is just getting started. It hasn't ended. It's infinite. It's eternal. You are infinite. You are eternal. Tristan, you are infinite. You are eternal. Richard is infinite and eternal. Everyone else on here, the same with your loved ones. No matter what type of relationship it was, because we know we have some people that have transitioned and it's been a challenge because, we love to hate them. And people think that's taboo. Oops, I can't say that. No, things happen in life. And what's so beautiful about Kiva sharing that we're just getting started, and so is everybody else. It tells me that transformation healing is part of this grieving process. Grief will transform you in ways, if you are willing to keep your heart open, that you could never imagine. It has been 25 years since Kiva has transitioned out of physicality, passed from physicality. And my relationship with her is so strong. Now, I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to lean in, okay? Tell no one. No, you can tell them if you want to. I'm going to lean in. I don't grieve her anymore. That's not what they told me. They told me a mother's bond with a child is forever. And yes, that's true. They told me I would grieve forever and it'll never go away. And I'm going to tell you, because I've been doing the work, when you're willing to sit in the emotion of all that is, Tristan, giving yourself compassion and grace while you're doing this, willing to feel all the feels, your heart expands and expands and expands because you're not resisting. You're not shutting down. You're actually opening up, you're flowering. And that loved one is right there, watching you, walking with you. Every class you go to, every grocery store, every trip you take, they're right there with you. And from time to time, they'll leave you a bunch of signs because they're like, hey, I haven't heard from them today. Let me just give them a little road runner or give them a little rabbit out in the field, or maybe a butterfly or dragonfly to trigger a memory, you know. And so these are the things you deserve. All of you deserve to be about. The signs are divine. They are there. They are forms of communication. They are gifts from your loved ones. And they're gifts for you. And now I'm in a place in my life where signs follow me. I don't follow the signs. You see, when you're willing to sit with what is, all the emotions, the anger, the frustration, the irritation, to feel like you can't go on. We want you to know your loved ones want you to go on because they're with you and they're taking in the joys of your experiences. They also honor your experiences, right? So we're just going to honor when you're having a down day. So breathe, because it oxygenates every cell in the body. You're able to make clear choices, not get lost. Grieve, you're able to acknowledge the emotions, right? And what we're asking is that you come up for air, even when you're going through the grieving process, even when you're in the experience, right? Now that living part, living can look like this. Get out of bed, you don't want to. Brush your teeth, you don't want to. But you brush your teeth anyway. That's living.
Yeah.
And then go back to bed. Curl up, be with what is, be sad, be happy. And here's the big thing that comes up. Grief and joy are cousins. And sometimes they don't always get along, but eventually they do. But eventually they do. So here's the deal. You do not, anyone on this call, on this webinar, you don't need permission, but we're going to give you permission to have joy again, to have peace again, to have connection again. And there's nothing woo or magical about it. It's simply sitting down and communicating in a way that looks really different, because you would really like to have that physicality in front of you. You really love to touch their hand. You really love to kiss their cheek and really love on them. Here's the deal. The more you're willing to sit, the more you're willing to allow your heart to continue to stay open and to expand, Those touches are ecstatic. Those kisses are amazing. The connection is stronger and greater than it's ever been before. And guess what? You're learning together. You're expanding together. So when the world says this is how it is, our challenge to you is say, well, not for me, not today. I'm going to do this different. And we're living in a system, in a society right now where everything is falling. Well, what's really happening is everything is being revealed and softening. And the truth, your truth, not everybody's truth, but your specific truth is coming to the surface for you to take a look at it and see if it's something you want to engage in. So, our loved ones do not die. We are not going to die. We are going to leave our physicality. We are going to continue our journey. And we're going to continue it with the awareness that there is absolutely nothing to be afraid of and everything to love. And like I say all the time, remember to love on yourself and remember to love on everyone else. And so as far as a tool and walking you through an exercise, breathe, be still, really love on yourself. And when out of the blue, when you don't expect it, Richard shows up. Everyone on here, your loved ones show up. You're vibing in such a way that it's just like, you all have such huge entourage of ancestors and of just friends and acquaintances and all kinds of beautiful folks that lived on the planet in physicality that are surrounding and encircling you. I heard someone say once, you have so much support, so much assistance, and the number is more than humans on the planet. Take that in. So when you're having the down day, breathe. And when you feel like you can't breathe, but because you've been stepping into the practice of breath every morning, your body will naturally kick in on those days. It'll just kick in because that's just your way. Grieve, be in the emotion, feel all the feels, and then come up for air. And when you come up for air, be willing to be there for you. Be willing to show yourself great grace, compassion, and kindness. And then remember, live, get up out of that bed, off that floor, off that couch, and just go wash a dish. Dry the dish. Put the dish back in the cupboard. Then go back as usual. These simple steps, you'll be amazed at how it shifts your perspective about yourself, about the passing of your loved ones, about your beloved Richard, about life as a whole. And I just want to say in closing, there is so much love for all of you here, all of you. And for those that will watch this replay, the same for you. There's so much love, so much support, so much connection, and so much communication that is wanting to be shared with you. Their perspective of how they see you, because now they see you from a different viewpoint, and it's vast and expansive and brilliant and beautiful and healing and transformative. And thank you for giving me the opportunity to just sit with you, sit with the love, and sit with this new possibility. We never die. We never die. We change form. And we who are still here in physicality, we transform. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Levon. As we segue, Tristan, thank you for participating in that. In this quiet space, in this sacred space, I'm going to take you through an exercise where you can listen to the wisdom of your three brains, heart, head, and your enteric or gut brain. So follow along, and if you have a pencil or pen or paper, be sure to take your notes. If you want to share what's coming through for you, please do. Those of you who are participating, answer the same questions that I give to Tristan. The first thing you may want to do is draw a heart somewhere on your paper, because the first question is designed to ask the heart a question. Okay, Tristan.
Heart buttons too.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, there you go. You're all in. I can tell you are extra ready. As you listen to the intimations of your heart through what Levon so graciously gave you and what's coming up in the moment, write down the main message of what your heart is finding important for you to know. Your heart is finding it important to know. For everyone on the call, answer that same question. What do you value enough to embrace at this time? Write that down by the heart. What do you value enough to embrace at this time? And then we're going to drop down and talk to your enteric brain or your gut brain. Listen for this message in a different way. You may taste something, you may see something, you may smell something, or you may have just an instinct. The question is, underneath coming and showing up today, what does your gut say is your motivation and need? Motivation and need for being here tonight. Write that down. And if we go back up to the heart, we're going to ask this question. What part of your connection, in your case, Tristan with Richard, what part of your connection is showing up the most tonight? For everyone else, what part of your connection with that person that you've recently had transition is showing up the most tonight? Then I'm going to ask each of you to look over your messages. We started with the heart, with what was important and what you valued enough to embrace, and your heart gave you some messages. Often when the heart speaks to us, I call them intimations. You know what I'm talking about. It's a big word, but everyone's heart speaks a little bit different language to you. Then we checked in with the gut brain and talked about motivation and need. We went back to the heart and asked about the connection between you and your beloved other. So you start to see that this is a real conversation. And we're going to move it now to the executive brain or the prefrontal lobe or your third eye chakra and ask your head now to join the conversation. And yet, not just your third eye. You've all become a little more connected to the person who's passed. So this is going to be a joint effort between you and your individual. And as you look out into the future, realize that your past beloved is joining you in envisioning what they will be doing with you in the future. Part of it will be you seeing it and imagining it. And part of it, if you go, oh, I didn't think that, or oh, that's too big, or oh, where did that come from? Write it down because we're inviting your beloved to join you now. We're going to give you a full 60 seconds just to go to that third eye, that vision spot, and imagine what the two of you will co-create in the future. Go there now. Write it down.
I need to get some tissues. I'll be back.
Right ahead. I'll push pause.
I don't know why I didn't consider that before.
Kyle, I'm imagining that you're getting a massive download right now. I don't know if I'm right or not, but I'm imagining knowing who your beloved is, that that's happening. And the same with you, Cheryl. I think you're getting some new pictures. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. I'm going to go back and push the timer to keep resuming. So you have some more time. You can come back to this exercise and add more lines and more pieces of wisdom as you desire. I'm referencing tools that I learned when I went to Australia for a short time and studied with a neuroscientist down there. I had learned through a coaching summit that Marvin Oka and Grant Suzalu had discovered how to speak to the wisdom of the heart brain, the gut brain, and the head brain. And they were teaching coaches how to do that so that you could inquire and get your inner wisdom. And so I talked about this in my TEDx talk, but I went there because they were ahead of us in the neuroscience.
Yeah.
So Tristan, anything you want to share about that experience? Because we've done this once before, I believe, or something like this, or you've watched the TEDx talk. I'm trying to
Yeah.
remember.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Because I have been told by um trusted friends and individuals that they've said about me is that they can tell I have guts, but like that is where I receive my power is through my
Mm,
stomach. And I thought
mm.
that that was very interesting because I know that I have some good intuition there.
You do. And that's where your deep identity lies. If we look at the core competencies, the heart holds a place for values, importance, emoting, um, connection, relation. But the gut is about deep identity and inner wisdom, motivation and direction. And your hell yes is hell no's. And then your head brain, it has compartments for learning and growing and keeping you safe and imagining. So yes, your solar plexus is really strong, and we have a client at Soul Salt calls it their gut toaster. Your gut toaster is really astute.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I believe that. Yeah.
good. So with that, just know that there's a little bit of neuroscience here. I really value what I learned because I think that scientifically we're starting to catch up with what intuition has been telling us, what spirit has been directing. And so with that, Tristan, I'm going to gently pass you over and have Annie finish tonight's wonderful evening with you.
So the part of the work that I do as a shaman is holding space for people when they're in the midst of their transition. So I do death doula work. And I've also had several of my own near-death experiences. And so from that body of knowledge, some things have come forth. And the first thing I like to share about grief in this realm is that it can be very isolating and a lonely experience because we're not taught within human modern society how to say a healthy goodbye. We don't speak about death. We don't really talk about our own mortality. And so when a loss occurs, it can be exceedingly challenging from that perspective. Um, Many times people just don't know what to do with it. They don't know how to respond to it. They don't know how to react to it. And so support can be lacking. The first thing that I'd like to say is that it can be helpful to just be kind and tender with yourself and allow yourself to move through the grieving process in your own way with your own time. You will most likely cycle through many, many different iterations of the grief process and feel many different emotions. And that cycle can continue and will continue as long as it needs to continue for healing to happen. And it's when we fight that or try to force ourselves to come out of that process that it will delay or can cause further issues. And it can actually heighten and magnify the painful part, the very painful parts of the grieving process. Um, so it's important just to honor yourself and the way that you know, move through that process. Grief can feel all-consuming because in my experience, it's to the depth that we loved the person that we lost. That can determine the depth of the grief we feel once that person is no longer physically present with us. And everything is energy, and energy cannot be destroyed, and so we all continue, and yet there is a significant loss when that physical presence is no longer here with us. Um, One of the things that can be really helpful is to write a letter to the loved one that you've lost. Anything you felt that you weren't able to say or ask or share, or anything that's heavy on your heart regarding the relationship or their passing, and then burn it. And as the smoke rises up, set your intention that that message moves up into the cosmos and is carried to your loved one. Um, that can be very helpful as well. Um, Talking about your past loved one, talking with your past loved one, they can hear you, talk out loud, um, ask questions, look for signs that can be helpful. Ask for signs, Ask for connection and communication, particularly during meditation time or dream time. You can ask them to come to you and communicate and be with you during dream time, during meditation time, which can be very, very comforting. It's when we don't honor the feelings that we go through and when we try to control our grieving process, that it can really, again, make things much, much more painful and create issues within our current experience. I'd also like to share that, and I'm just going to put this out there, that there was one name that came through, and so I'm just going to put it out there. Initially 2 days ago in meditation, and then again this morning during meditation, and the name was Ryan, Ryan. And then when Levon was speaking to Tristan, the name Riley came in, Riley. And so there are also everyone else's loved ones who have passed are here. And so I wanted to definitely share that message that came through.
Yeah, my little brother that passed away, his name's Ryan.
Okay. Okay. Yep. He was showing
Yes.
up
So
2 days
he's
ago.
definitely here. Definitely came through.
Yeah.
The other thing that can be very helpful when we look at death and we look at the grieving process, to understand that when you lose someone close to you, it trips a trigger on and stirs the pot and brings up every single other loss you've had previously. And so,
Gosh.
depending on your experience with that, it can really pack a powerful punch. And so,
Yeah.
again, even more of a reason to be kind and gentle with yourself. And doing some work around your relationship with death and your relationship with your own mortality can also soften grief. And so that's the other suggestion I have. If you've never done any work around how do I feel about death? What does that even mean to me? What do I believe happens after we, leave this place, after our bodies cease to exist? It can be very helpful to do a dive into those things. It can be extremely healing process. No, I think I'm good. Questions, hopefully.
Yeah, so let's open this up and we'll go with you first, Tristan. Annie and I were wondering why Ryan showed up in our meditation 2 days ago and then again today. Lavon had the same thing happen in her own way. So Ryan's here for you and wanted you to know that. And we're just wondering, do you have questions or thoughts or things that you want to expand on before we open it up to the rest of the folks?
No, I mean, it's obviously surprising, not surprising that Ryan's name showed up because he definitely had come up, obviously, in like compound grief because I was 24 when Ryan passed away, and his passing was so shocking because it was I mean, he overdosed, and so it was just very shocking. I was 24 at the time, and he was going to turn 23. So he's 14 months younger than me. And I have really felt like connecting with him. Even weeks and weeks and weeks ago, I had felt like I needed him in my court. So I had a dream about Ryan a couple months ago where it looked so real to me that in my dream I reached over to grab Ryan's arm and I could actually feel an arm, where usually those kind of dreams you go like through the personage or whatever Hollywood tells us, but I honestly felt his arm in my dream. And that was really cool because it has been several years since I've ever had a dream about Ryan. I haven't had any dreams about my late husband. I'm not mad about it because I know they'll come. But Ryan, that was kind of a gift for me that I got some dreams about my brother soon after he passed. So that's my only thing I wanted to add is that I'm so emotional today. I'm so sorry. But
Well,
like,
of course,
sorry, not sorry, because I know I'm in the right place.
you are.
But
And you're proving what Levon said earlier about the physicality and being able to have that actual touch. And it would be exquisite, I think was the word, right, Levon? Let's keep going, Tristan.
yeah, well, yeah, I think that the interesting thing about grief and what Annie was saying, it really resonated with me because, and Lynn knows about this about me, Levon. So I'm sorry, you're gonna have to get some of the, Reader's Digest version of having a Mormon belief system, and you think heaven is this way. And so I had grief under a Mormon brain, and now I have grief under a non-Mormon brain. The non-Mormon brain is easier because I'm not clogging up my grief situation with a lot of uh, assigning it to certain things. Lynn, I'm not describing this very well,
Oh,
but
we know when we know. We understand.
but like I had to kind of deal with some of Ryan's passing even a couple of years ago because some stuff like came up. And I really think it was because I had a Mormon brain with my Cheryl. I hope you're not Mormon, and I hope I'm not offending you, but I'm just letting you know it wasn't working for me. I got I got too much of that software installed that kind of I feel like, to be perfectly honest, I think it kind of got in the way of my grief because it seems to me like my stuff with Ryan is sometimes harder than with Rich. Because I think that I mean, obviously I was very young when Ryan died, but yeah, I had all of these super happy anecdotal pretend things in Disneyland to kind of keep that at bay. And then when I realized that that necessarily wasn't true and didn't work for me, I had to kind of deal with stuff more. So, Annie, the things that you were saying about how you get kind of in the way of your own grief, I know that a lot of that, I'm giving myself a lot of grace because I just didn't have those tools when Ryan passed away. Um, I think it's amazing because I've always loved that name, Ryan. The fact that it even came up today is just a beautiful gift.
Yeah, we knew that that would probably happen. Should we open it up for other people? Cheryl, did you want to say anything, or Kyle, or W? If you do, Cheryl, yeah, did you find it? I'll ask you to unmute and then maybe you
Okay.
can.
Can you
Oh,
hear
there we
me?
go. Got it. Yeah.
Okay. I can I
Yes.
go
Go for it.
Go for it.
okay.
Go for it.
Um um
Well, let me give a quick
Yeah.
introduction. May I?
Yeah.
Cheryl
okay.
is like Levon and like Annie, and I have spent years talking to Cheryl, who has assisted me with people on the other side. So, is that fair to give you that introduction, Cheryl, that people will hear you? And you've recently had your own partner pass,
Yes.
so you're on both sides of the coin. I think that's good reference for people on the call. Is that
I
fair?
am.
Okay.
Okay. I first want to start because I should have blocked myself, but I did not.
Uh-oh.
So I wrote little notes on my papers here, and I had wrote an R. I also got the name Ryan or Rain. Rayne. I don't know if somebody else is a Rain. I got self-caused. So Tristan, his passing, he is claiming responsibility for. Um, Also, he talked about telling me, he showed me my sign for no self-blame. So had you blamed yourself for not seeing what was coming, or could you have prevented it? He wants you just to forget about that. Also, there was a recent celebration with connected to you or him or someone in your family, and he wants you to know that he was there at the celebration. I also got an Estelle or something along the lines of Estelle. Could be Ellie, it could be Stella. I got that. And then I also received a K. And then I heard the name Lee real strong. So I don't know who that belongs to. Um, and then of course my little lovey came in. So
Oh, yes.
yeah, so when we were doing the questions, the heart, he was never one to stretch a story out. Like if he had something to say, he said it, and if he wouldn't put it in a sentence, he gave me individual words. Like he would,
Mm.
if it, like, let me pull it up because the first the first question that you had, he just showed me love, my sign for love. Um, and then he showed me trust. Um, Also, he on the second one, he again showed me family, talk, and love. And then on the third one, the motivation, he kept showing me trust over and over and over again. So I think the two of you know that I have not been trusting myself when it comes to communicating with him. However, I can communicate with others, but I just put this block up with him. And then the last part that we did, he showed me he's always present. And before he passed, we did a mold of our hands, and he kept showing me that. So hand in hand is the way I took that he is with me hand in hand, and will be as I move forward in this new life that I supposed to be taking.
Mm. Wow.
So
Thank you.
yeah, no, thank you, because I, I mean, I don't know what my face was looking like, but every time I was writing something, and I was like, oh my hell, not been paying attention the other day. And of course, you know what he sends me all the time because he usually sends everything through the two of you, and I'm so appreciative that you share that with me. And my daughter-in-law, she asked him for dimes, and
Oh,
so I want to share this really quick, just because I go everywhere with blinders on. I go to the store, I have blinders on. I block. I don't pay attention.
Mhm.
And I went to the cemetery the other day, and I got out of my car, shut the door, opened the door, reached in and got my little mug here of water, and looked down, and there was a dime sitting on the seat.
oh.
I I didn't even have the only thing I had was my little phone with me and my driver's license and my debit card in the back of the case. I didn't even have a purse to even have coins in that. So watch for those, because I feel like um he sends he sends you signs, and he talks I think it your husband that's passed?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Okay. He wants me to tell you he's the bird. Have you been
Oh,
noticing the bird?
yeah.
He says, please tell her I'm here, and I want her to know that I'm the bird. I'm the bird. And he keeps and then he has this cute little laugh about him. So I don't know if he had a unique little laugh, or if he just, would sometimes do something kind of funny and just give you that like laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has a
Um
cute little chuckle, doesn't he, Tristan?
Well, I was telling somebody the other day he has the best maniacal laugh. So
yeah.
when Cheryl went ha ha ha, I was like,
Oh, he went, yeah, he goes into the big one, huh?
Yeah. Okay. So, but when you had mentioned the minute when you said, you hadn't heard from your husband, like that's when he just kind of like smacked me upside of the face and said, "Hey, tell her this, that I'm her."
yeah, oh my
Her,
gosh, the bird thing is
yeah,
killing me, you guys.
the bird and the laughter. That's what he said. Just tell her those two things. She'll know.
Yeah, the birds is funny because it's just kind of like how when people are rushed, and it almost kind of seems like a Hollywood cliche, and I'm not trying to make it so, but it's like, birds just scatter whenever there's someone chaotically flopping about, and then they resume back. And so for some reason, I had a bunch of goddamn birds at the front of my door, and I can't like leave the house uh gingerly. I like storm out of my house. I have to run back in. I'm attention deficit, so I've forgotten 5 things already. And every time I'd go in and out of the door, the birds would go, and then they would come back. And I just noticed this after Rich's passing, especially because it was very audibly hilarious. These birds are still annoying at our front door, but I absolutely love that they're there because it's a reminder to me of Rich.
Yeah.
So it's really wild that Cheryl said that.
Yeah.
Or not so wild.
Not so wild. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, thank
Wow.
you. Thank you.
Cheryl.
Thank you,
Oh my God.
Cheryl. There's a lot going on here because I've even seen Levon go doing this to keep it under bay, right, Levon? When you have those who see and hear and feel. And we all do. That's the point of tonight. We all get the intimations, the intuition, the instincts, the insights. And proof of that is when something comes to you, and if you don't write it down, you'll forget it because it didn't come to you because it's yours that you made inside. It came to you from the sources outside as a message. So tonight we hope that we've assisted you, that we've given you tools or comfort in your grief journey, and that you are more than welcome. We'll do a follow-up with the recording. More than welcome to reach out to any of us. And Cheryl, if you'd like, we can put your contact in there too. Any closing words, Levon, that you would like to say as we end since you started us?
I just love that I got to be present and everyone did all the work. Lily Spread's like, aren't you excited that you don't have to say anything else? And I'm like, yes, thank you very much. No, this is beautiful. The only thing I would say again, this is I know that there's a lot of challenges going out in the world, but this is a very exciting time for shifting the way we go about our lives, how we think a thing, how we feel a thing, how we be a thing. And I'm pretty excited about it. So just remember, as always, love on yourself and remember to love on everyone else. And no, I'm real excited. I'm excited for what's next.
What's next? And don't forget, when you took your notes about the future and you co-created something with your beloved, that could be your what's next. So we'll sign off for the night. Thank you for being with us. And those of you who are listening to the recording, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, much love.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
thank you, thank you.
Good night.
Good night.
That was beautiful. Thank you.